day, everyone. My name is Lizzy Mogale. We are on day 198 of our Bible reading, and we will be focusing on Proverbs 13, 14, and 15. The book of Proverbs is one of the wisdom books. It has a theological foundation that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of all knowledge. This book guides our morals, our values, and how we conduct ourselves. The book also assumes that life is fair and that life is just, that every action that you take will yield results. The book does not take into considerations things that are beyond our control or things that are exceptions. It just tells us if you do this, this is what you will get. And if you don't, this is what you will get. The book also do a lot of comparison and contrast between the people that are wise and the people that are foolish, or actions that are wise and actions that are foolish. I will be focusing on chapter 13. In chapter 13, the first verse starts with the wise son being compared to a scoffer. I want us to read together verse 7, which says, "There is one who makes himself rich, yet one who makes himself yet has nothing, and one who makes himself poor, yet has great riches." We see a lot of this in our daily life, where people that want to appear like they have made it in life, and they go and go an extra mile in trying to prove that they're making it in life or they're rich. But the people that are genuinely rich, they don't even make efforts in appearing rich or looking like they are rich. And another one is on verse 11 that talks about wealth gained by dishonesty will be diminished, but he who gathers by labor will increase. And this just talks to when you labor for something, you get a process for it. You are able to increase whatever you would have gained. But somebody else that has gained in dishonesty, they wouldn't have an idea how to grow that wealth. And then I want us to look in verse 18. It talks about poverty and shame that will come for him who disdains correction, but he who regards rebuke will be honored. And this just talked to us that we need to be teachable, we need to be able to be corrected, and we also need to acknowledge that we are not always going to be right. So somewhere down the line, rebuke will come. In verse 20, it talks about he who walks with the wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will be destroyed. We talk about this a lot there. Go with the wise and you will be wise as well. We also have an expression that says the birds of the same feathers flock together. So every time we need to be evaluating and checking the circles that we keep, because they end up making who we are. And then the one that stood out for me the most is, a good man leaves inheritance to his children's children, but the wealth of the sinners is stored up for the righteous. And one of the things that I see here is the good man doesn't just leave inheritance for his children. He leave even for his children's children. And this inheritance also speaks to the spiritual inheritance, that we should always make sure that we live our lives there in a way that generations to come after us, and even generations that comes after that, they are able to inherit something from us spiritually, more like we're making efforts to stack up for them in physical materials. The last one that I will discuss is, he who spares his rod hates his son, but he who loves him discipline him promptly. And this also again just says, if we love our children, we should be disciplining them, and we should never spare them a rod, so that they grow to also be responsible adults. We are going to go through chapters 14 and chapters 15 together in the Bible discussion later today. Thank you.